This week, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu came to London for his first direct talks with his British counterpart, Theresa May, in 10 Downing Street. At the top of the agenda of discussion was the danger posed by the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Iran deal that was designed to curb Tehran's nuclear ambitions. The Israeli Prime Minister views Iran as an existential threat to the Jewish state because of the regime's repeated calls for Israel's destruction. The Iranian regime has also armed and funded Islamic terrorist activities against ordinary Israeli civilians that has resulted in the murder of thousands of Israelis over the past couple of decades. Last week, Iran demonstrated that its hatred for Israel has not diminished. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards test-fired 2 medium-range ballistic missiles with the chilling slogan, "Israel should be wiped off the earth," inscribed on each one. This act of provocation was designed to show Israel that their missiles are targeted at the Jewish state. The missiles exploded after 630 miles. This missile test was a clear violation of the nuclear agreement Iran signed with the West. This was a warning to the international community that they should not be trusted. We need to go back in history to the Bush administration in the previous decade to understand the real danger posed by Iran in building the nuclear bomb. President Bush put together an international coalition that imposed strong economic sanctions on the Islamic Republic of Iran for building a nuclear weapons program. The US and the international community feared that if the Islamic Republic of Iran achieved nuclear threshold and developed nuclear weapons, then this would be a game changer in the Middle East. The Iranian regime, under its previous president, Ahmadinejad, threatened to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, and it is the world's largest state sponsor of international terrorism. If they acquired nuclear weapons, they could continue their support for international terrorism without the fear of reprisals. This would also mean that the Arab nations would develop nuclear weapons to protect themselves, leading to a nuclear arms race in the most dangerous and unstable region of the world. President Obama failed the Iranian people in the Green Revolution of 2009 when thousands of Iranians bravely took to the streets to protest at the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini's controversial decision to reappoint Ahmadinejad as president. This despite him coming third in the presidential election race. Obama was silent when the regime violently cracked down on its own people, ending the aspiration and dreams of millions of Iranians hoping to overthrow the tyrannical regime. By 2013, the Iranian regime was on the verge of economic collapse because of the effectiveness of the international sanctions, and this led to Tehran to seek a détente with the West. The supreme leader of Iran did this by selecting a so-called moderate reformer, Rouhani, as his choice as the nation's next president. The Obama administration also welcomed the Iranian presidential election victory of Rouhani in 2013 and welcomed him and began the first diplomatic dialogue with the regime since the Islamic Revolution of 1979. The US-Iran dialogue would lead to the Iranian nuclear deal agreement over the regime's nuclear weapons program, which the Israeli government of Benjamin Netanyahu strongly opposed. In the summer of 2015, the Obama administration, together with the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council, the United States, the United Kingdom, Russia, France, China, Germany, and the EU, proudly announced that they had reached an agreement with Iran over its nuclear weapons program, and that this agreement, called the Iran deal, would curtail Tehran's ability to produce nuclear weapons for 15 years in return for billions of pounds in sanctions relief. The Iran deal was a bad deal because it only delayed Iran's ability to produce nuclear weapons, and it relied upon the goodwill of the Iranian regime to open its nuclear sites for regular inspection by scientists belonging to the International Atomic Energy Agency. The agreement did not address the regime's intercontinental ballistic missile program, nor its international support for Islamist terrorist organizations such as Hezbollah and Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad and other Islamist terrorist organizations in the Middle East and beyond. This agreement also did not address Tehran's shocking human rights abuses. including the persecution of its Christian minorities, nor the end to the incitement to genocide against Israel. The Iran deal preserved the Iranian regime and its leaders from financial ruin, ending any hope of a change of regime that would lead to democratic transformation of the country. The Israeli Prime Minister hoped that the British Prime Minister Theresa May would follow the lead of the new US President Donald Trump in imposing fresh sanctions on the Iranian regime for its ballistic missile test, his ambition to establish a new American-British-Israeli axis against Iran.
Equally, we face challenges, very clear, in our region, from militant Islam and especially from Iran. Iran seeks to annihilate Israel, it says so openly. It seeks to conquer the Middle East. It threatens Europe, it threatens the West, it threatens the world. And it offers provocation after provocation. That's why I welcome President Trump's insistence on new sanctions against Iran. I think other nations should follow suit, certainly responsible nations. And I'd like to talk to you how we can ensure that Iran's aggression does not go unanswered. Equally, I want to assure you that we share with you the desire for peace. And this is our dream from day one. And we will never give up on our quest for peace.
A spokesperson for Theresa May defended the Iran nuclear deal and emphasized that the international agreement was keeping Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon without resorting to war. The British Prime Minister gave no reassurances that her government was going to adopt a tougher stance against Iran. Theresa May's response to the Iranian ballistic missile test was in complete contrast to the new President Donald Trump and his administration. Trump tweeted, "Iran is playing with fire and they don't appreciate how kind President Obama was to them, not me." Trump's National Security Advisor Michael Flynn said Washington was putting Tehran on notice over its destabilizing activity and responded with placing new sanctions on individuals, and many of them are linked to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards. President Trump's tough stance regarding Iran was reflected in his presidential campaign, as he repeatedly said that he would renegotiate the disastrous and horrible nuclear agreement with Iran. Now in power, Trump will find it difficult to end the Iran deal because of the international support for the agreement. Therefore, the new US strategy on Iran is to adopt a zero-tolerance approach with the Iranian regime for any violations, as many within Trump's administration felt that Obama was far too soft on Iran and turned a blind eye to Iranian violations in order not to undermine confidence in the Iran deal. The supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini, responded to President Donald Trump's tweets on Iran by threatening the United States. He said that Donald Trump has shown the real face of America and has warned his people will respond to his threats on the up-and-coming anniversary of the Iranian Islamic Revolution of 1979. He went on to say that Trump had tried but failed to frighten Iranians. The war of words between the US and Iran escalated further when Zono, the former advisor to the Supreme Leader's representative to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, threatened America. He said that any mistake by the US would result in action. The US Army's 5th Fleet has occupied a part of Bahrain, and the enemy's furthest military base is in the Indian Ocean. But these points are all within range of Iran's missile systems, and they will be razed to the ground if the enemy makes a mistake, he said. And only 7 minutes is needed for the Iranian missile to hit Tel Aviv. The Israeli Prime Minister is due to be in Washington, D.C. next week for his first direct talks with President Donald Trump, and now the issue of Iran will be at the top of their agenda. It is believed that they will be discussing a joint strategy to confront Iranian militancy. One possibility would be to impose sanctions on Iranian industries that aid missile development and designate the Iranian Revolutionary Guards as a proscribed terrorist organization for their role in fueling proxy Middle East wars. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards are very involved in propping up Assad's regime in Syria and fighting against the rebels in the bloody civil war. If the US government prescribed the Iranian Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organization, then this would persuade many foreign investments not to invest in Iran because they control so much of the business and the industries in the country. It is very clear that Trump's administration will not appease the Iranian regime like his predecessor Obama did and stand up to the threats and the provocations of the Iranian regime. The Iranian regime's test firing of 2 medium-range ballistic missiles was an act of provocation and a blatant breach of the Iran deal that the regime signed with the international community in 2015. The regime was clearly testing the resolve of the new US President Trump and his administration, but it should also come as a warning to us that the world's most dangerous regime should not be allowed to develop the world's most dangerous weapon. History has taught us that we cannot afford to appease evil, totalitarian regimes, and Iran's violations and threats should not go unpunished. The Israeli Prime Minister's attempt to form a coalition with America, Britain and Israel to curb Iranian nuclear ambitions are essential for the future of peace and stability in the world. In the words of the conservative philosopher Edmund Burke, that resonate today with the grave danger that the Islamic Republic of Iran poses to Israel and the world. He famously said, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing."